The Michael Berry Show.
Breitbart reports a Trump hater has set himself ablaze while torching a Tesla charging station in South Carolina. A masked man vandalized a Tesla charging station and attempted to burn it down using Molotov cocktails in North Charleston, South Carolina, ultimately setting himself on fire in the process. They didn't capitalize Molotov. You're supposed to capitalize Molotov. The maniac spray-painted "Long Live Ukraine" next to a vulgar message aimed at President Trump at the scene. So we hate Elon, and we're very pro-Ukraine, and we also hate Trump. You know, this person, they're one of two options. Not likely, is that this person is of Ukrainian descent and has decided to wrap themselves in the "this is my homeland" mindset, which would, well, the point has been made by some in the international press that Ukrainians do not wish to continue the war, but Ukrainians in the United States do, because they're not at risk of being grabbed off the street, sent to the front lines to be killed. They're not really suffering the war. It's more an interesting thing to put as your profile page and to tell people you're Ukrainian. It's far more likely that this is some white liberal kid who has bounced around, could have been a school shooter if one or the other thing had turned out differently, pimple-faced, living at home, angry at the world, complete misfit, and these people latch on to a cause. And the latest one is Ukraine. But there have been others before it. These people got very excited during COVID to get to be the COVID police. They got very excited. They've tried to find ways to inject themselves into the news and be a part of something bigger because their life is so empty. So whatever the news directors decide is the story of the day, that's how you get your news. It's not necessarily the most important thing going on. Whatever Rachel Maddow or Chris Hayes or whoever else they're watching says, they then try to find a way to inject themselves into that story as I'm part of the bigger news, I'm part of the flow of the world sort of thing. And this is what causes them to go out and protest. They love a good protest because then they're out in the streets and people will see them, and maybe the news reporters will come and report on it, and it'll all be very, very exciting. And it'll make their lives meaningful to them. And then they'll rush home and they'll watch themselves on the news, and it'll just be a shot in the B-roll while the reporter is standing and telling, but there they'll be in the back, and they're waving their fists and clenching their fists, and they're angry, and they got their sign, and this is their life. This is their, and as annoying as they are, if you actually step back and think, if this is your kid, you have failed.
The Michael Berry Show.